was a great game, huh? That's about as good as it gets for college football. That's an example of what sometimes when I get on like a really small little rant when I say that we need to be careful about messing with the structure of college football. Things that happen today in these games, and like what you see here, college football is pretty good the way it is. That was a heck of a game. Two really good football teams playing, and I'm glad we were able to come out on top at the end. They played a heck of a game. Really good team, well coached, had a great plan. I told our guys, our players, on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, my job is to get a feel for what our schemes are offensively, defensively, and special teams. And then Saturday, my job is to evaluate it and then see if we did a good job scheme-wise, X and O's. And, you know, I told him, I said, I've been an offense coordinator a long time, and there's times on Saturday I was like, that wasn't a very good plan. But our coaches did a really good job this week with our concepts, what we're trying to get accomplished. We had concerns, and, you know, I mentioned it to you on Monday, with pass protection with them. They're disruptive up front. And Spencer was really good at avoiding the rush and making plays. I know he threw an interception, and then he threw a tipped interception. But overall, his decision making, his ability to keep his composure and find his way through and around the pass rush and make plays was really good. Because I know you're going to ask that question, but he played really good in this game. I have a pretty good feel for it because most of what he did, I could tell on the headsets in this game based on what our game plan was, and I thought he was really good in this game. And then obviously he makes a really nice run on the option play to score the touchdown. So defensively, they made some good plays against us. They had some good schemes. We dropped protection a couple times. We got our eyes violated in the first half. And then in the second, made some adjustments, a couple adjustments. And then obviously in the second half defensively, we were really, really good. I was concerned. We're in prevent at the end of the game, and 13 breaks through and takes off running. And I wasn't sure we were going to be able to catch him and get him down. I've seen him do that on TV 2, 3, 4 times this year, and nobody ever catches him. He scores. So we were able to drag him down, and then we were able to get enough pass rush. On the third down, Harper, 16, makes a great play, folds back inside and dives, lays out, and trips his ankles. And then on fourth down, eventually the pass rush got to him. So game of a bunch of emotional swings with the special teams plays, kick return for a touchdown. And then we had 2 other really good returns. Then we had the drop punt. Then they dropped one. Each of us gave each other one. Then we gave them one on a safety. We got a little discombobulated there in the backfield. 8 was back there with us. So both teams gave each other a touchdown. Then obviously we gave up a safety with it. But I told them this was another culture win, to be behind things. Momentum's going their direction. Guys didn't get frustrated. Their body language was good. Their attitude was good. They learned to play the next play. They don't worry about what happened. Just keep playing the next play. And that's what they did today. So I told them we couldn't be any more proud of them for what they've accomplished. That's the good news. Next thing is we need them all back here tomorrow afternoon. We're in a 1-week playoff again. I mean, you know, you've kind of been in the playoffs for the last 3 or 4 weeks. 12 to 15 teams in the country have. So we still have another week. They've got to come back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and this is over. And we've got to get ready for the next game. And that's just the way it is. No matter what happens on Saturday, we got to roll on Sunday. So that's what I told them. I thought the environment and the atmosphere, this has turned into a big-time college football town. They start setting tents up on Wednesdays now. And being on campus this morning for walkthroughs and seeing how many people are here, and then obviously driving back on campus to get ready for a pregame meal. And then the walk was through the roof. This is a big-time atmosphere now, so I couldn't be any more proud of our administration and the plans. We had the pom-poms in the stands today. You know I'm a big pom-pom guy. I think that's big-time college football on TV. I'm sure it looked great. The crowd was fantastic. Had a few beer bottles that came out that I'm a little concerned with, and I love the crowd and everything, but I want us to be better than that. We have a good crowd. We got great people, and we don't need to throw anything on the field. And I want everybody there screaming, yelling, fighting, spitting, whatever. But we just don't want to throw things on the field. We want to be first class. Oklahoma State is first class. We want to stay first class. But the noise, the support, the walk, fantastic. So very appreciative. As a former player, alum, graduate, and a coach, very appreciative of what the fans gave us today and tonight.
Mike, your defense was playing great in the third quarter, but everything else was just disintegrating around you. How do you think you held it together? Were you able to stay in the game playing as crazy as things went against you?
So you guys cover them, obviously, just like you cover us. And they're, on most occasions, they're good in the first two quarters. Their first 18 to 25 plays, they're good. They know what they're doing. They're good at scheming. They come up with good ideas, and they have good players. I mean, the running back's a good player, the quarterback's a good player, 27's a good player, 18's a good player. All those wideouts are good players, and they're good at that. And they got to us. They got us in the first quarter and a half. And then we rallied around. We played – I mean, you guys would have to make that – we probably played the best game we've played against what you would say would be a really good opponent in the first half offensive we played all year, right? So luckily we played really good offensively so we could go blow to blow and stay in the game. We go in at halftime and, 0-0 basically. So they made some adjustments. You would have to ask Coach Knowles the details of it, and it worked good in the second half. And we were able to stop the run. I know he broke the big run, but for the most part we were able to stop the run and allowed us to play a little more zone coverage in the back end.
How important was that? Because you had some one-on-one battles in the first half that didn't really go your way.
No, they didn't. And their plan, I mean, I'm just outsider looking in, their plan was to throw the ball up and take those shots, and they hit them. And I mean, we all know this. It's one time they hit it was 3rd and 12, and they hit the touch. We weren't even in press, and he threw it up there, and the kid went and made a play. And from a football standpoint, you say, okay, if they're just going to throw it up on 3rd and 12, you like your chances defensively because those are 27 to 20, 30% chance throws. So you say, okay, I like it. But they made those catches. One time they got 18 on us. Guy had some length on us. They made plays. I mean, they're a good team. They're going to make plays.
You've talked extensively about Malcolm and Devin together, but tonight they were really dynamic, especially that second half. What did you see anything different from them? Were they a little more dynamic than normal?
They just play hard. I told the guys I don't even know what to say about them anymore. They, I just sit here. I'm just the head coach. I just enjoy the game, and really, I really enjoyed that game. It got a little tight there in the last 4 minutes, but other than that, it was a fun game to watch. And two good football teams going at it, but those guys have just been fantastic all year. And Malcolm's done it for 4 years, but for 16, it's pretty special. He comes back because he's been behind Amon for so many years, and this is his year. And he came back. He's worked hard. He's not said a word, never complained, and he's really grown into his own and had a good year. And he can run. I mean, he's going to get a chance. Somebody's going to bring him in camp and give him a chance, and couldn't be more proud of him.
Do you give Brennan any rules when he's back there? If it goes so far in the end zone, can he not take it out? Just kind of, he seemed really aggressive tonight.
On KOR?
Yeah.
Coach Waz coaches KOR and obviously does a great job. Their kicker has been, in the past, has been a guy that kicks it way out. But as of recent, over the last month or 5 games or something, he hasn't kicked it as far for whatever reason. Maybe he's tired or whatever. But his percentages he was at 67%. Okay? Years past, he's been way up there. So we felt like we could get returns. And I want to say in this game he gave him too deep, beyond too deep. I don't know how he knows that. But beyond too deep, he was supposed to keep it in. The one he brought back, where did he catch that? I couldn't see. Too deep? Well, I'm glad he didn't give him one deep.
Any rules about him a punt return?
Yeah, he shouldn't back up. His feet are at 8 yards. His heels are on 8 yards, and he never back up and catch. So those guys get caught up in the emotion of the game. And Brennan has made hundreds of plays in special teams over the last 5-6 years here in Bixby. And he's done it over and over and over, and so he's trying to make a play. He thinks he can change the game, and that's why we brought him here. That's why we signed him. But he's got to put his heels on the 8-yard line, and he's got to feel it. And when he starts to go back, he can't go back and make the catch. He's got to let it go. And so we talked about it. We corrected him. Told him we loved him on the sideline. Go make another play. It is what it is. But those are things that have been coached and coached and coached and coached this year. But sometimes young kids just get caught up in the heat of the moment and try to make plays. So he learns from it, and we move forward. But that's not what we want him to do.
Coach, so many of these Bedlam games, and heck, any rivalry here in the last week of the season, when something bad happens and another thing happens, it can snowball and just get out of hand. What was the difference tonight for your team to rebound the way they did?
Well, the first thing is that, we have to be realistic. It's not like they haven't had good teams. It's not like they haven't had good players, okay? So let's just establish that. Let's all call things the way it is. They're really good, they're really talented, and they've won for a long time, okay? So we got to give credit where credit is. This game was closer on paper, talent-wise and health-wise, than what some have been in the past. And so that's why you saw it just kind of go back and forth and back and forth. But to give you an answer of why we were able to kind of push through it tonight is because we have a bunch of veteran players. We've got a number of super seniors, and we've got quite a few guys on defense that have had a lot of reps in their career. So they don't get rattled. Like in the we were in a crucial situation there with about 5 minutes and 56 seconds, and we needed a first down to keep the clock running, to punch it down under 2.5 minutes to where they'd have to use their timeouts when we had to punt. And what happened? You remember what happened? What happened over here on the side?
To be honest, I was walking down the field.
You were walking? Anybody know what happened? 85 jumped off sides. What year is 85? Freshman. True freshman. He's playing at Norman High last year. Nothing against that Norman High, but this is a little different situation. So he jumps off sides and backs us up. Now we're kind of in a jam. But we have so many veteran players on defense that are able to overcome and push through things, to give you an answer.
Mike, when everyone storms the field, what was your experience then? Did you get right out of there? Or
this way. Those things kind of scare me a little bit. I don't like getting caught up in that. Like, I don't like to be on elevators and think that they might get stuck. I don't like all that stuff. So thrilled for the crowd, thrilled for the players, thrilled for everybody. But to be honest with you, they had a real good shot at me at the Gatorade, and it was really cold, and it completely drenched me, and I don't like to be cold. So, and then when I saw people coming, I hit that tunnel on this side and was able to kind of roll out of there. I want them to have their fun, but I just can't. That's not me. I can't do that.
Who had to put the black cowboy hat on you? I saw him do
That was
it.
my oldest kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's if you go back and watch, we can be in big games like this, Barry. It'll make a difference if we're home or away. He did it at Texas. I don't know how he gets over the wall and gets on the field. He does it every time. He did it at OU, and we were down there, whatever game that was. We were underdogs and we won. At Texas this year, I didn't know more than get 5 steps off the sideline, and I felt somebody hit me from behind. I turned around, it was him. I don't know how he got down there. But anyway, that was him.
This is an emotional win. You want you guys to enjoy it. Like I said, you got a Big 12 championship next year. You know, Michigan's got to do the same thing. Anybody who's won today. But how do you let them enjoy it? But also, you have to be ready for the championship game next week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't done it before, so but what I told them tonight was the same thing I've told them, because it's 1 week. So they enjoy this, go out with your family, eat dinner, your girlfriends or whatever. Be careful on the streets. Need everybody back. But we have to go back to work tomorrow at 4. Baylor's going to work tomorrow. We don't need to give them 1 day edge on us. So I just tell them the truth. This is awesome. I wish you guys had a week to enjoy this. We don't get a week to enjoy this. We still have work to be done. I need you here at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and we got to focus and go back to work. This thing's over.
Mike, you talked about a lot of appreciation for the fans and the atmosphere. If this is the last one in Stillwater, what does it mean to mean it? What does it mean to win it?
Well, we talked about that on Monday. I'm guessing there's a good chance of that. But for these guys, this team this is a special group. I've said this to you guys for about a month now. You all know where we started. This team has improved more each week than any team I've been around in 31 years, assistant coach or a head coach. And they've done it different ways. And so I just wanted them to be able to it's a good night for the seniors, but they've put a lot into this, and they're very mature. They handle themselves right. They don't get into stuff. They practice hard. They're fun to coach. I mean, I'm having more fun this year, not just because we won 11 games, but I'm having more fun this year than I've had because it's fun to coach them, because they like to practice and they compete and they like to go play. And that, to me, that's what it's all about. So I wanted it for them. The other stuff, I don't know how much they really think about it. They're young. They move too fast. They go to the next thing.
Mike, what was it like to have Des back? It seemed like he was pretty great in the game. Yeah.
Des is like a kid in a candy store. Des loves Oklahoma State. He needs to come around here more. He's a special player and a special guy, and he's a 100% loyal Cowboy fan. And it's good to have those guys. We had a lot of players back. I mean, a lot of guys that came back. So we couldn't be any more proud to have those guys back.
Mike, your offense in the first half was really good. Had all kinds of stuff going on. Second half, not so much. But Spencer breaks that option play. How big was that? Not just for the 7 points, but sort of, it seemed like it maybe just opened up some ice.
Well, it was a really good play call, because I was sitting there thinking, because what I do is I think, what would I call? And I didn't even think option. So it was a nice call by him. And, they widened, and he ducked up under. It kind of looked like their options from years ago. When the whole thing widened and the quarterback ducks under. That wasn't the way it's designed. 40 widened. The pitch guy was 0. 40 widened, 0 got caught up in the wash, and he went all the way under the tackle and then made a guy miss and jumped a guy or whatever he did. But that's a nice play call. And, it's interesting. I thought that our starters, our 20 plays, were excellent, and unfortunately, so are theirs. And that's kind of what happened. You get in the second half, and it flattens itself out. And defenses started to play pretty good.
Last couple questions.
Earlier this year, you talked about how the difference in the Big 12 now and 10 years ago was the lack of elite quarterbacks in the conference now. Do you think that's changed with Caleb Williams?
Well, I think, and I said this in there to the team, he's a slippery, good player, but so was our guy tonight. He was a slippery, good player also. And with the guys that you have coming back in this league, it's going to pick up from the players based on at that position. The one thing that's changed in this league is we all know that defenses have played better the last couple of years and slowed people down.
Last one.
Nobody?
All right, guys, thank you.